Hey folks, Jim Thomas here with your gym industry update for June the 2nd, 2020. And like we say in the title here, the question we pose, are you a struggling gym owner? And that's really who this video is for. That's really who I'm talking to right now. Folks that are currently in business and maybe you've reopened your gym at this point. Maybe you're still waiting to reopen. But are you in a situation that, has you concerned about this? And so the first thing I want to talk about here, if that's you, if you're struggling here, is the first thing we need to do is we need to get a handle on our finances. We need to get a grip on our money. We don't want to spend any place that we don't need to. And so the basic rule, if I could generalize a bit here, is only pay what keeps you in business. Okay, what keeps you in business? It can be payroll, utilities, things of this nature. Now, there's some instances right now, particularly, that you might have, maybe your rent has gone delinquent with your landlord. Maybe your landlord has offered some abated rent. I know some have been a little bit easier to deal with than others, but in most cases, I think you'll find that the landlord really does not want to have that space empty, and certainly now, doesn't want to have that space empty. So one of the first things I would suggest is, communicate with your landlord. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what your plan is, to get your business, back on track. And work with them. In many cases, they will. Now, if they won't, that's going to be a different conversation we might need to have. But I think in most cases, they probably will. They don't want empty space right there. The second thing, if you have gym equipment that you're leasing it, okay, you're making that monthly payment on it. Communicate with your, whoever's doing the lease for you. I can promise you, they really don't want that equipment back. And of course, you need it, to run your business. But perhaps you can, delay some payments. You can, even get some abated payments for a period of time. Maybe you can restructure that lease, to make that more affordable for you. So those are some ideas and some different things you can do right there. But the rule number one is you want to conserve capital, you want to conserve cash, and you want to only pay what's going to keep you in business, okay? Now, again, for you gym owners that are struggling, and actually this could be a good exercise for everybody, what I like to do when we come into these kind of operations is I like to do a review of assets, a review of current assets, things that you're already spending money on, things that you're already doing, but you might not be operating at optimum efficiency. You might not be, completely effective at everything that you're doing. So this way, we're not really raising the overhead, but we're becoming much better at what we do, because at the end of the day, what do we have to do? We have to get more traffic into your business. We have to make more sales, get more money per customer, and have more things to sell. We have to be able to do these things. And so let's look at some things here that potentially could make a difference. One of the first places that I will go is a gym's website. What I find many times, for a club that is struggling, one of the commonalities here is the website is more of what I would call a really nice online brochure. And if that's what you want it to be, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I like to look at there is I really want this website to really be a lead generator for me. How is it generating leads? And there's a whole series of things that we would want to look at there. I won't go through all of that here in this video, but we want to be able to capture leads. We want to be able to, get that automated process in place so we're quickly communicating with these folks. I would suggest on every website, make sure you're writing a blog. This is a great way to increase your SEO potential. The other thing that I would look at doing is I'd make sure I had a chat box, and one of the great ways to do that is utilizing Facebook Messenger. That's not going to cost you anything, and nearly everyone is going to have Facebook as something that they use on a pretty regular basis. So you want to do a complete analysis of your website. Let's make sure that it's a lead generator for you, not just an online brochure. Second thing I like to look at is our email database. Most clubs have an email database. Most clubs, if they have it, they don't always, particularly ones that are struggling, is who we're talking about here, we don't always communicate with that email database like we should. And right now, I mean, my mantra is, hey, let's over communicate. Let's kind of over deliver on value, and making sure we're using that email database to communicate, with your entire database of folks, because these are leads that you already have. This is, you get these folks back in. There's no actual cost per se. You've already incurred that cost. So make sure we're properly utilizing that email database. And there's a lot of great resources for this. If you're not using one right now, check out MailChimp. I think they're going to be free for maybe the first 2,000 emails, which would be a lot for many facilities. So take a look at that email database. Are we really maximizing that opportunity in there? Social media. I talk to folks all the time, and they say, "Well, Jim, I'm posting at least once a week," and it's probably not going to be enough. You're going to want to post much more than that. I'd rather see you overdo it than underdo it. You're trying to push into a marketplace. You're trying to get known. Social media is not going to cost you anything. There's an awful lot you can do, from what we're doing right here with YouTube to LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, and multiple accounts, for targeting different kinds of folks. So there's a lot you can do in there. And so far, none of this is really costing any money. It's just getting us better at everything that we're doing to generate more traffic. The next thing I would talk about here is we really need to refine our sales process. In most clubs that are struggling, there is not a tight sales process. We essentially wing it. So we want to get that sales process tight. So think about this. You want to get a proven process in here. Referral programs. This is something that is, underutilized significantly by many clubs. And when I talk about referrals, I'm talking about point of sale. There's nothing wrong with asking a new member to bring somebody in. Not necessarily to bring them in to join, just bring them in to work out with them, because, hey, it's a fun thing to do. Referrals, have a referral program every month for your members that are working out, like a floor referral type thing. And even incorporate this as part of your of your email marketing campaign. Look at marketing to former members. I mean, statistically speaking, there's more former members out there currently than there are current members of gym. So there's a lot of opportunity in that. Missed sales, folks that maybe they didn't buy, and maybe they just weren't in that buying cycle. I mean, from a follow-up standpoint, it's going to take numerous contacts to eventually bring that person to the point they do want to become a member. And I call that nurturing. Just a little sidebar here. We're trying to maintain interest. We're trying to maintain desire. We're not just trying to sell them every time we talk to them. We're trying to kind of move them through that process. The other thing I would wrap this up with, and when it comes to our sales process, I would look at things like the second sale. I've got my customer in front of me. They've bought, which is great. We've got ourselves a good process now. We've got them signed up. And I simply ask the customer, Mary, how would you like to get your results twice as fast? And maybe now I offer a presentation on private training or perhaps on group training. And the numbers that I look at, I like to see about a 20% success ratio here. And so the beauty of this is, 100% of your people are getting this presentation. You get 20%, now you're getting much more revenue per customer. And as I'm walking out, I'm going to say, hey, Mary, now that you're part of the program here, we need to get you some cool looking gear. Mary, check out the material, on this sweatshirt. Mary, do you like wearing hats? And, maybe she says, hey, yeah, I think I'll grab some of this. And maybe she buys $30, $40, $50, worth of merchandise inside your pro shop. And I'm just talking maybe 20% of the people do this. But now all of a sudden, we're taking all the things you're currently doing, and we're trying to become more effective and more efficient at every single one of them. And I don't think in any case, we're raising your overhead by doing so. We're just becoming better at what we're already doing. My name is Jim Thomas. Hey, if you enjoy the videos, you enjoy the information we present, please consider, hitting that subscribe button below, and we'll look forward to chatting with you real soon. Thanks.